Just popping on to say, might be last little video that I post in a little while, because I've actually made a whole bunch in the last couple of weeks, and I don't really know what I'm trying to say. You know, whereas maybe some of my early videos talking about twin flames and the ego, they had a certain flow and they felt led, whereas I've really gone into a very peaceful kind of state lately. You know, I've been saying about how this whole year I've been forced to really slow down, and it's only very recently that I've started to appreciate that. Anyone following would be glad to know my sports massage business is going well. I'm getting lots of clients, getting a few cancellations unfortunately, but I've only got Tuesdays and Fridays, and this Friday and next Tuesday are already fully booked, you know, so I'm not feeling like I need to find another job. I do need to add another day, and then I can actually start sort of earning properly, and that's probably around the corner. But I think, especially if we follow Northern Ireland, which we probably will, we probably are due for another lockdown. And luckily, you know, I'm going to have the support behind me to be able to weather that storm, which is good. And I'm if we get one, I'm actually going to appreciate it. But yeah, I done a video about how this channel is about the ego, and it sounds maybe a bit too vague and ethereal, but it's like being forced to slow down and be quiet. I have actually gone into a place that's kind of beyond words, and words are really failing me at the moment. And at the minute, it's just become apparent to me that me doing videos, talking about myself, and it's the ego's last attempt to hold on and write a story out of all of these experiences, really. And I'm not really feeling led to do that. I'm enjoying actually spending a lot of time on my own, where, you know, previously I was, but my ego was, you know, the ego always wants more and bigger, and it wants to be entertained, and it's never happy because it never gets there, because the future and the past are both an illusion. And you know, I was always wanting to find some company and, you know, running around and trying to entertain myself, where at the minute, because the business is kind of ticking along, doing all right, I'm actually really genuinely appreciating some alone time at the moment. And I don't want to perpetuate the illusion that there's like an end goal to this whole ascension thing, but it's been about 2 years since this process got really intense. And, you know, I was making videos about 7 months ago called Balancing Out, where you could see I was still really quite ungrounded, but there was a big shift. And it really feels like I'm on the tail end of that. Like I've really got it, and it's just about being. Like being, it's a very unsatisfying word to the ego, you know, just be in the now. But even I'm getting distracted looking at the colours on one of these awesome trees around here, you know, which this one behind me, that's cool. That's really cool. And you know, I kind of think the other stuff in life is clicking into place a bit. There's certainly no rush at the moment. I think I'm supposed to be quiet and still. And, you know, this is your kind of sacred journey, really. So I probably will make some other videos, but, you know, I'm getting trapped in the ego by doing that at the moment. And when I do, I think I'm going to actually put more thought into them and not necessarily waffle around about myself and what I'm thinking, and you know, actually produce some useful content, and with a thumbnail and a stamp and something that might get seen, and something that someone's more likely to watch, you know. But yeah, it's not when you go through this awakening thing, you can get this ecstasy. That implies an up and a down. This is much more neutral, you know, like seeing through the eyes of a child, really. And I'm really just kind of enjoying that peace. And, you know, life will speed up when it needs to speed up. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, you know. Trying to explain this stuff now seems a little bit futile. You know, it can be very useful for people, but I'm kind of experiencing more at the moment. It's lovely, actually. It's really, really lovely. I'm really... You know, I think what's interesting is that before this all happened, when I kind of reunited with my twin after like 7 years, and, you know, just before all this happened, what is interesting is I was on the tail end of some really intense times for me. And I'd gone to Peru, which I'd always wanted to do. And before that point, I'd done a lot of travelling and always had this wanderlust. And I think it was literal physiological burnout. But I wasn't entertained. There's nothing wrong with Peru. It was my state of mind. I was burnt out and had no zest at all, and I really sort of couldn't see what the future was going to look like in a way, because I wasn't excited anymore by external things. And it was just at that point, when I had stopped my external searching, that kind of this big whole twin flame thing come in, which is very interesting, I think. And you know, you get catapulted. A lot of it, when you're researching spiritual stuff, it's still your ego actually trying to express the inexpressible and trying to figure something out. And you're not going to get it through the mind. Or maybe there's a couple of ways, but I won't go into that. And yeah, I feel like I'm back to... there's a good balance between being and doing. Like, I'm doing enough work to keep a few things ticking in for me, but most of the time I'm just observing. And I'm caught in this bloody rain now, and the car's not too far away, but I'm not overly concerned. Although, bloody hell, it is coming down now. Anyway, maybe a few interesting thoughts for people, maybe not, but take it easy.